If someone does not have your book yet,
Hmm.
can they still come to the workshop if they haven't read? You mentioned you would prefer people to be familiar with the contents of certain chapters, but would
Hmm.
it be all right for someone to go in cold without your book and without any exposure to your work? Will they get something out of your workshop?
Yeah, I mean, one of the ways that I try to teach everything is I teach everything from the ground up, and we're going to be spending several hours together. So I teach in a way where people feel as if they're not missing out on anything. It is going to be a very intensive workshop. So while I would prefer for people to have read those chapters within the book, I'm still going to cover everything comprehensively, but the main meat and potatoes of the workshop is going to be how to actually do the work. And so you could purchase the book. I'd appreciate if people purchased it, but
And it's
fundamentally,
on Amazon. That's probably
uh,
the easiest way for them to get it.
yep, Amazon is where to get it from.
You'll learn a bit on how to skillfully speak about the people who live in the domain of their lives, particularly siblings, parents, children, and lovers. Now, I'm wondering, I know you use the third house for siblings, Mychal, but is there another house you use for siblings? Do you use the third from the third?
No, I just use the third house and I use the triplicity rulers of the third house to describe other siblings. So if a person has more than one sibling, then I use the triplicity rulers of the third house because that's how we do that traditionally. We don't do the third from the third from a more traditional perspective.
Wonderful. Will you be teaching triplicity rulers in this workshop or not?
It's
Probably not.
not really the main intention, no.
All right. Parents, do you go traditionally with the father is the fourth and the mother is the 10th? And
Hmm.
some people will say the fourth is both parents too. Okay. Lovers, do you use five and seven or just seven?
Nope, just the seventh.
Are there any cornerstones of your personal identity as an astrologer and as a man you'd like to share with our viewers?
Mm, I think that I just try to keep things very simple, but at the same time, I also try to be excellent at what I do. And I think that's a personal characteristic that I carry into my astrology as well. And we could never get things 100% correct. I think that that's just something that all astrologers know, but at least we can be meticulous in our process. And so when it comes to reading a chart or teaching a class or giving a lecture or answering a question that a student might have, I always try to be very clear, very specific, very meticulous in how I do that because I feel like there's a lot of ways to be confused in astrology. And I want for my legacy when I'm no longer here to be clarity, that I was able to elucidate things for people in a way that made them feel closer to the practice as opposed to pushing them away.